Oh, yeah. Once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and get hooked up now. Oh, I think we got a voicemail to play. Here we go.
Hey, Brian and the guys, thank you all for doing great shows. I just got finished listening to your safety show, and you did a great job. You really covered a lot of things, and it's really important, and you'll probably save some lives. I wanted to point out 3 more things that I noticed. I think that any good rider will have a couple of things for you. The first is here in Deer Country. We live in New Jersey. By the way, Steve Castell from Manalapan. You got to stay to the left track, especially at night when there's woods on your right. Deers can pop out at any time. Those buggers are fast. That's why there's so many of them. You've got to stay to the left track. You've got to give yourself as much time as possible, particularly at night, to react to a deer coming from the woods that you can't see. Second, really important is to watch closing speed. You talked a bit about how you would always slow down when you see people stopped, but that is not the only time to pay attention to that. If people are going 30, you shouldn't be doing 70. If you're in the left lane at 70 and they're in the right lane at 30, if they pull out in front of you, you're nothing but road food. Last but not least, you got to stand up to stop at a turn. If you're in a turn and you're in trouble, you need to stand the bike up, slow down, use as much as the turn as possible while you can, standing up to slow that bike down, and then when you absolutely have to, get back down into the turn. Have a great day. Steve from Manalapan, you take care.
Oh, thank you for the voicemail. lawabidingbiker.com/contact. Izzy left a voicemail right from his computer, built-in microphone, free, anywhere in the world. Thank you, Steve Castell from New Jersey. He's referencing Law Abiding Biker episode number 200, where we talked about motorcycle riding safety tips and dangers from a police motorcycle officer and instructor. And we went through a whole bunch of stuff. And so some additional good points. And thanks for weighing in with some extra tips and tricks. I will say the only thing I'll add is on the corner. It's true. If you get in trouble on a corner, that is one technique. It depends how much in trouble you are, because if it's an emergency, then yes, you may need to stand it up. But I can tell you that after you practice, you can actually brake somewhat in a corner. Again, that takes a little practice and time on the courses, but you can do that. But yeah, if it's an emergency brake, I agree.
You're talking about ABS braking only. Threshold braking in a corner with no ABS?
No, we're not even talking that. He's just talking about.
No, I know, but you said taking practice to brake in a corner, like ABS, right?
No,
with a bike equipped with ABS.
Either, it doesn't matter. I'm just talking about braking during while you're in a lean in a corner. It's not highly advised unless you practice it, because it's going to stand you back up somewhat. Yeah. So you have to lean in a little bit more, but it can be done. And we could go down a rabbit hole of trail braking and all kinds of stuff. But that's not what the episode's about. So we do appreciate the voicemail. Again, check that episode out. I think there was a lot of good stuff in there. So there we go. Right on. Love the voicemails.
Absolutely.
Love the voicemails. Hey, Bikeaholics. Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley Davidson and a brand new line for your Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike. I love it, the gold. Affordable chrome lighting and cover products and CAN bus made simple with plug-and-play lighting systems. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of Zero 3D products. What do you say we do this, Oscar, shall we?
I'm excited.
Here we go. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
Motorcycle Majority.
99%.
Oh, dang it.
God.
I was so close this time.
God, Oscar.
I know. I didn't practice ahead of time. It's total failure. I can't multitask either. I was reading on the screen thing.
99% is what he meant. Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By listening to this very podcast, by being here, you're part of what we call the biker revolution.
I was about to say that, and I was there.
Biker revolution. That's right. Glad you're all here. We do have just one question for you before we get started. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? Mount up. and let us take you on another wild ass ride.
Oh yeah. I didn't know. I never had that line before.
Oh my God.
See what
Oscar.
happens? I know. It's already going downhill.
Let's see if you can get this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Welcome back. Yeah, Ryan Erlacher here. Also known as your
high-tech redneck.
Oh,
yes.
You got it. You got it.
One.
Here we are in the studio, and we've got a great topic for you. This is a live patron-only event, and all of you that are getting it in podcast format at some time down the road, you're months behind because these guys are getting it right freaking now. Not only that, we're going to do another episode tonight, but that one will be recorded, and even though it's not live, it will go on the back end of your patron accounts. So you'll get a whole nother episode probably by tomorrow at the times, that we're recording this. So a lot of benefits to becoming a patron member, and we're trying to always ramp that up. And so not only we're putting the live ones where you get to live chat with us and all that kind of stuff, and live right here, you're getting the next episode we're going to record at least months before everybody else as we're trying to stay ahead of the curve. And don't forget, guys, 3 ways real quick. Make sure you check your patron accounts. We post there when we're going live. Get on the free live email list, lawabidingbiker.com/live. And there's an email list in the upper right-hand corner. You can get signed up. We email you, and then we also post it in the private Facebook group. So 3 different ways coming at you so that you know we try to advise as many as we can that we are going live. There he is. You guys can see him on the video right there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot where the video was.
This is Oscar.
That's one. That makes me 1 for 4 now, Greg.
Damn it. Where'd you wave?
Over there somewhere. I don't know.
Camera.
I don't know what's going on. I have no idea.
We love Oscar. He's in the studio, and it's always a pleasure to have him in here because he brings some good knowledge besides the tech stuff. Clearly,
oh yeah,
clearly
I drag us down here a little bit.
Absolute failure on that. Special guest in the house. This is going to be a fun episode. We're going to monitor this chat. We're going to talk about a few things, but main topic today, when we get to it, is going to be special guest Brian. And in a moment, when we get into that, I will let him introduce himself. It's Biker Talk, and he has some motorcycle experience. Got into motorcycling. I won't tell you the rest, but he has been in a rather serious motorcycle collision, and so we want to break that down a little bit, and just all around good guy, as you'll see. So we appreciate Brian being here on a mic. We want to announce a new free video real quick, and this is an important one. So this is a video, how to install 03D Shock and Awe 2.0 on your Harley-Davidson and how to use the smartphone app. That's our updated kit, which is available in the Law Abiding Biker store. The whole 3.0 kit with the app, and you can do all kinds of different stuff. I've got them on my bike, and of course, in true Law Abiding Biker style, we break it down for you guys and show you everything if you want to get up and running. They are super high quality LED lights with a whole bunch of different patterns. They can bump with your music. You can actually use the microphone, and they can bump with whatever you're listening to. Tons of different colors, tons of different functionality. They've been all across the country. I've had them on for years. I had the 1.0 kit. Now I have the 2.0, and they just keep on working in all different kinds of conditions. So check that out. And I will put a link to that video in the show notes after I do them for all you podcast listeners. And lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode this number is how you get the show notes. Always, we love our sponsors. These people also made this episode possible. Oscar?
All right, for our patrons, Bob Metcalf of Murrieta, California. Bob's a top-tier patron. Oh, wow. Wally. Patrickowski, right? Passiorkowski?
Something like that.
McKeesport, Pennsylvania's. Wally's also top-tier. And John Slice of Norcross, Georgia.
Jerry Moore of Sioux City, Iowa. Gregory Baxter of St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Tim Buick,
nice.
Of Baldwinville, New York, top tier. That's right. Why don't you finish it up?
Lavelle Allhoft of somewhere. Kenneth D. Wheelet.
Oh, yeah. We don't know. Sorry, Lavelle. We screwed those notes up.
Kenneth D. Wheelet of Lizella, Georgia. Bill Kremer of Centerville, Utah. Bill left for a little bit, and now he is back.
Glad to have him back. Lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon is how you get involved. That's right. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content. No risk to you because you can put a monthly cap. We certainly understand the family budget. There are benefits. T-shirts, stickers. You get access to these live video broadcasts and live chat. You get episodes early, and you get in the private Facebook group, and you can have access up to our premium videos up on request for those top tiers. So there you go. And we have been ramping the patron stuff up. Got a bunch of patrons in the chat here. Good to see everybody. Let's see who we got, and we'll dive right in here. Greg Doncaster, Jackson Levitas, yeah. Anyways, David Thompson, James McKinley, I like to just name a few. Rick Kemner in there. There we go.
The Gucci pilot.
Kim Smith, the Gucci pilot. I always forget who that is because it's a moniker. The Gucci pilot, yeah. Charles Wilburn, Kevin Dawspat, yeah. Henry Happ, nice to see. And I know I missed some, but we're going to be chatting with you. So we'll just dive right in. We got Brian here in the chair. And now, Brian, why don't you just introduce yourself just a little bit? Be willing to tell what you want about yourself.
Yeah. So welcome, everybody.
I didn't tell you either. We were in such a hurry getting up and running that I didn't even coach you at all. So you got to be right in the mic. Your nose should almost be touching that filter, and it's a center fire microphone, dynamic. So you got to get right in it.
Got it.
Oh, sexy. See,
we talked about the beard thing already.
Yeah, the beard's going to get in your way, but don't get beard hairs in my screen.
Just rub up on it. Just rub up on it there. It'll be fine.
You guys are nuts.
True.
So anyways, I'm a transplant here in Washington. I grew up in Wisconsin, born in Minnesota. I'm a Viking fan at heart, Badger fan also, so I'm a little bit weird in that aspect. I'm actually the general manager for Best Buy here. And a part-time professional angler. So
nice.
That's kind of what I do.
Tell us about your, so Brian here, and I'll give a little history. Brian he's trying to get up and running and working hard at his YouTube channel. Go ahead and plug it a little bit in case there's some fishermen in here.
Yeah. So if there are any fishaholics out there, Nine Toes Fishing on YouTube, just search that and you'll find me. I'm the only one that exists.
Nice. And he's been working hard at it, so it was fun hanging out with him. We always he's a tech guy like me, because clearly I can't talk tech with Oscar, as you saw from the beginning of the show here, playing videos in the background. But no.
These two talk tech and I get toy lost. I start staring at the clouds. Oh, look.
But Oscar knows a lot about motorcycle mechanical stuff, so we all got our specialty. So going back, Brian is a neighbor of Oscar over here, and it's funny because when I first started the Law Abiding Biker Media, we had been up and running for maybe 6 months at the time. So that was well over 6 years ago. And that's when I got introduced to Brian. And I still remember, I have some vivid memories of that because that's when we didn't know anything. And I was running around with just an iPhone trying to film some stuff. We were just trying to help bikers like we always have. We've just taken that up several levels throughout the years. But I was doing what I could, and I just ran over, zero lighting. I'm sure I know some of those old videos are just horrid, but the information's there, but the lighting is horrible, the angles and all that kind of stuff. But I was over there in his garage, and I still remember I was doing the heated hammock seat, and I was putting on the pigtail so I could power it, and I was running around trying to do it myself and film it, and Oscar was in the garage doing some other project.
Yeah, we were doing several.
Yeah, you remember that? And that's when I met Brian. He came over, and it was shortly after that. Did you have a motorcycle at that time?
I think I bought one just after, didn't I?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just biker talk, guys, and I'll be monitoring the chat. But he's got some good story, I think, behind it. I don't know it because I haven't had a chance to really dig in, but I kind of told Brian what we're going to be talking about here. But why don't you just give your background in motorcycling, so to speak?
Yeah, so I haven't been riding for a terribly long time. My first bike was I think it was like an 89 Vulcan.
Badass bike.
It was a fun bike. I sold it when I got married.
Heard this story before.
Yeah. It was a mutual agreement. I think that's what they all say.
Is that what she told you to say?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Same old story.
Oh.
But I really enjoyed it, and I had gotten away from it for until I moved here, and Justin kind of brought that fire back, and then the rest of the story.
What? So the '89 Vulcan that was prior to marriage. So what about growing up? Let's take it way back, man.
Whoa,
Let's take
little Brian.
Oh yeah,
Just
let's
dirt
take
bikes.
it way back. Let's go all the way. That's fine. You had some experience growing up. Then you had the motorcycle fever.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got on a dirt bike and cracked the throttle a little bit too hard and sent it out from underneath me.
Oh, did that many times when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah.
The funny thing is you can do that multiple times.
Yeah.
That is not apparently a self-correcting problem right away.
It's not.
No.
I remember doing it multiple
Oh, yeah.
times. Those
Oh,
things
yeah.
are got some balls, man. So did you have your own bikes or did you ride neighborhood
Neighbors.
bikes? Yeah, me too, because we was two po.
Yep.
We was P-O-Po. I always wanted a motorcycle when I was a young kid, but no way in hell we could ever afford one. So I was have to jump on the neighbor kids and try to ride those behind my parents' backs.
You know, that sounded weird, like a little strange, bro.
What
So you had to jump on the neighborhood kid.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. On his bike. We may have rode doubles too. We rode all over the countryside.
And
dude.
you were a handlebars guy,
with your legs out because there's no passenger pegs. The dirt bike with the legs out, and just you know the picture, man. That's how we rode around. We were all over the countryside where we grew up. So yeah. So that's when you first got into them, huh?
Yeah. And then, when I moved back here, got to start riding again. And, we can talk about the accident later on.
We will get to that. Yeah. We're just we're going to work up with your motorcycle history and kind of why you got them and how you got into motorcycles. And and we'll talk about that bike you had a little bit, in a minute, but
yeah, it was just, there wasn't anybody really that, around me that rode. It had just always been a, passion, I guess. I think the feeling you get when you ride is different than anything else.
Nice. I agree.
And so that's kind of why I started. I didn't have, dad wasn't around growing up. Nobody rode motorcycles. It was just one of those things that I picked up and really enjoyed.
So it didn't even really run in the family.
No, not
basically.
at all.
Me neither,
No.
which is interesting because my dad didn't ride. I'm trying to think if even I really didn't have any uncles or anything like that really rode. So very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So where'd you pick that Vulcan up at?
I bought that one in, I believe, Little Rock or Conway, Arkansas, I think, from a guy that was shipping out overseas and needed to sell it.
Another story, yeah.
Yeah, so I got a pretty good deal on it. And actually, my wife went with me when I picked it up. We weren't married at the time, but when I picked it up, she went with me and brought it home.
Yeah, why'd you pick that bike?
Probably affordability at the time.
It's good. It's a good answer.
Yeah, call it what it is.
Jump in anytime you want to, Oscar. Yeah. So
no, I heard about the Vulcan, but only shortly. So I like listening.
Yeah. So you picked that up, but so affordability, but what, I didn't even know that. Did you say 89?
I think it was an 89 or a 92.
What are we talking about on here, motor-wise and stuff?
It was a 6 or
they made
750, I believe.
They made like a 1400 and an 800 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. They had two motors back then. That was
which one
that
did
was
you
a
have
badass
then?
bike.
It was the little one.
Okay.
Because I had just started riding. Like that was really my first bought bike. And I didn't want to go crazy.
Yeah. Smart. So did you buy it just for like local travel or did let me ask you this, did the wife ride or the girlfriend whenever that transition? Why?
No, she didn't.
Really? How come?
I don't know.
You ever ask her?
No.
Smart guy,
Well
dude. Played.
Well
that was a good answer.
That
right
was
there.
a good answer.
And he didn't have to think about that either.
He did. Well played, bro. If you don't ask, then they're definitely not riding with you.
I didn't think about it that way. That's good.
We're always thinking of angles here.
Always angles.
Always, yeah. Good. So she didn't ride with you, but what was your riding experience with that? I mean, were you just running local and short rides, or were you just some cross country stuff?
No, nothing long distance. Just all local stuff. I think the biggest trip I did was probably 150 miles.
Yeah. Okay. How many years did you have that thing?
3, right around 3.5.
Okay. What did you like about that bike? Or is it only what you didn't like?
Affordability.
Just affordability.
Yeah, I think that was it.
I'm trying to picture it. So let me go ahead.
It was blue.
89.
It was an 89 or a 92, something like that, somewhere around in that year.
Okay.
It's been
And say the model again.
Vulcan.
Vulcan. That's right. Vulcan. Sorry, I was thinking of something else.
I want to say it was an 89.
I'm going to pull it up. We're taking it back here.
I started on an affordable, but my first bike was an affordable bike too.
What was that?
84 Magna.
That's right. I forget you told me that
I love
before.
that bike.
The Magna, dude. That's
Magna.
sweet.
And I'm pretty sure
you
it
know
was
what?
a 750.
It was. I was thinking of the Intruder. The Zuki was an 800 or 1400.
Is that what it looked
That's
like?
pretty much it.
Nice. So it's got the passenger seat. Yeah. I was picturing it. Got the little flare.
Their
kind
whole
of
class
mini
of cruisers.
Indian fender
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, they're good bikes. There's a whole class of cruisers in the 80s that all look like that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay. Well, cool. You, at some point you, got tired of that bike or what?
No, I got married.
Yeah.
And so
Here, Greg Doncaster.
that was my entry fee.
That was your entry fee.
Yeah.
For getting married.
Yeah.
Dude, there's only a couple things when you're on Craigslist or you're in the cycle trader. Baby on the way, just got married, or shipping overseas. Right? Yeah. Greg,
It's always family, mom, girlfriend, or Uncle Sam.
right. Yeah. Good point. Greg Doncaster, what did he say? 1750cc Honda 1974. Nice.
Well, I threw out the, what was anyone out there have a affordable first bike? So we're getting the list of them, which the Interceptor was that was a badass bike.
I'm looking at some of these other ones. This is fun. Edward, this is taking it back, man.
Yeah.
Edward Lake, a 1983 Honda Nighthawk 650cc.
Dude, those were cool bikes too. And you know what?
Chris Lezak, 83 Kawasaki 454.
Kevin Dawspat, my second bike I rode was my dad's Yamaha Virago 1100.
The old Virago, man.
The Viragos were awesome. My
I
dad's
saw a
was
Virago
91.
riding around 2 days ago when I was out working, dude.
Yeah.
A freaking Virago went by.
They still, they were good bikes. Just a basic B twin or whatever.
Well, Indian John had one.
He did.
He had
His
the
was like
Virago.
a 1913 or something. Virago. Oh yeah,
It was funny. The old Viragos, dude, because the guy rode by me. Remember, we used to tease Indian John because the handlebar. I'm sorry, I love the Virago, but those handlebars are jacked, man.
Were
And
terrible.
they're right in here. And
Yeah.
It looks like you're playing a little video game, and he was riding by with those little handlebars. They're just the most awkward handlebars you've ever seen on a motorcycle. We used to go by John. Remember, we go by with no hands on cruise control. We go.
It was
they
like,
look like-
someone wanted to make a beach bar, and then they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we don't have enough room. Let's squeeze them in a little
No
bit."
shit.
Because
Just-
that's terrible.
They're just a horrible handlebar. It's one thing that you know it's a Virago though when you see
Yeah.
somebody riding down the street
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, they were turned back and down. It
It's
was
just
crazy.
awkward as shit. I sat on that bike and I'm like, this is awkward, man. Bob Dawson, 883 Sportster.
William Schreiber says he had a lawnmower engine on his bicycle. That's classic.
That is nice.
That is affordable.
That's affordable. That's affordable. We had the little scooters around the backyards and stuff the friends did. Yeah. How about a 69 Honda 350, says Rick Kemner.
Was that a scrambler, Rick?
350 or so, as I recall.
That had to have been old scrambler.
97 Sportster, says Charles Wilburn. 1200, I think. Yeah. So not old school in any
it's
sense.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that counts as, Charles, that counts as old school.
Tell me this. Speaking of all the patrons in here chatting, I just wonder because there's something kind of nostalgic about your first street bike.
Yeah.
Do you wish you still had that bike? Not that you would ride it, but do you just wish that you still had it?
Yeah, I think everybody has that, right?
But we all don't do it.
No.
A lot of us. Why?
Hardly, no.
Money?
You know, I liken it a lot to getting rid. So I just got rid of my first ever bass boat. And I have the same feelings, right? I want it back in the driveway.
You just want to touch her and caress her.
Yeah, but there's something exciting about the new one.
Right.
And I think that's the draw.
Yeah. Yeah. And money. I mean, when it comes down to it, we can all say, yeah, of course, it's not always economical, affordable to keep a bike when you need to sell it for some money to put down on another one. So aside from money, I think, tell me what you guys think in the chat, or you listening in podcast format later. Think it out loud. There you go. We'll feel the vibe. But I think everybody, if you could afford it, if it wasn't a money issue, would you have kept your first bike?
Yep.
Yep. Here.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is an interesting story. Oscar, you'll love this. And I was going to put it on my Instagram and stuff, and I freaking forgot. I was too busy. So speaking of, I shouldn't say my first bike. I should say my first Harley, because I rode motorcycles and sports bikes and stuff like that when I was younger. But my first Harley, and I've talked about it on the show before, 05 Wide Glide, beautiful. I did all the work on it. I tricked that thing out at ape hangers. I did some just moving all kinds of stuff and chrome everywhere and, specialty levers and pegs and license plate frames and some LED lighting and a badass headlight. And it was a beautiful bike. It was like a blue and it had a flame pinstriping on it. Anyways, that bike, and again, you're going to find this because we go off on, I love stories like this. And so I go off on tangents.
I told him we get off track.
Oh yeah, this is biker talk, man.
Absolutely.
So that 05 Wide Glide, I had to sell it. I traded it. So it went to our local dealership, and I only had it for a couple of years, I think 2-3 years. And the guy that bought it, that bike is so badass to this day. And I'm not just saying that. I really put that bike together nice. That's where I really learned how to work on Harleys. That was before I started the YouTube channel, the podcast. People told me, there's all kinds of that, like we've talked before, oh, you need dealerships and blah, blah, blah. And so I brought it home. I said, that's bullshit.
Right.
And I just tore that thing apart. I had it down to the frame so many times, and I just customized the shit out of it. I'm like, okay, we can help people do this. But, so that guy is sold within like one day. As soon as I traded it, was gone like the next day because it's really cool. That guy rode the shit out of it. Saw him all over town. Pulled up next to him on my police bike on 2 different occasions, and I was like, "Hey, it's my old bike. How's it still running?" And he's just loving it. He wasn't a long distance rider or anything. It wasn't set up for that, but he rode all over town. So it was fun to see it and it recognizable. He lived out in our way, in this area, our way. So all those years I see it off and on. I hear people tell me, "Hey, I saw your bike in town again." 2 weeks ago, I go into Owens, the local Harley dealership, and one of the mechanics there actually texted me a picture. He goes, "Dude, your bike's still here. It's here," or something like that. I didn't know if he was working on it, so I went down, and I'm back there getting my police bike serviced. We have to have our police bike serviced there, and he tells me, he goes, "It's on the floor." I go, "No." The guy's, he's selling it. He's getting another bike. He's like, "Holy shit." What's the first thing that came to my head?
Yeah.
I got to go buy that fucking thing back.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to, in my mind. My mind wanted me to, but I needed to see it. And so here's what happened. You'll like the ending to this. You won't like the ending because I probably wouldn't have bought it. I really would have thought about it. The problem is, money, number one. Number two, could we really use it around here for any projects? Could I justify it? Probably not. But I just wanted to see it. And I don't know what I would have did. So I went out on the floor and I looked at it. And first thing I walked up and I grabbed the tag, right? I got to see what they're selling it for. It's not going to be that expensive. That bike would go for $7, something like that, $7,000 maybe. I grabbed the tag in there one day, sold, and it had a name on it.
Holy cow. Wow.
So I was like, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Cause you might have pulled the trigger.
Oh God. And why?
Because you have the room for it.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
We need that room to film and stuff.
We can put bikes this way and this way, and we can maybe get a lift.
You're
and
bad.
Put them up top.
You're bad.
No, you need it. I'll find it for you again.
Oh my God, dude. So some other local guy bought it, but
that's awesome.
It was a weird feeling when I saw the tag that it was sold. I go, well, that's that. I don't even have to think about it anymore.
Yeah,
but that thing sold quick, and the guy has not done a fucking thing to it. Nothing. Because it was so tricked out, which was cool.
Right.
I like that because it was exactly as I left it so many years ago. It is like not an antique, but something, that was left in its original state, the way I had it. So yeah, he hadn't done one thing to it. He rode the piss out of it, had 44,000. I ran the odometer real quick on it, 44,000 or something like that. But there you go. There's my little story.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So see, we can completely get off track.
Hey, yeah. Bob Dawson said, he sees the garage edition coming on. So
the garage edition.
We got room on this other side here.
Tell Bob only if he paints it for free again.
Yeah, I think he said that. He said, yeah.
Dude, Bob's awesome.
The first 2,000 square feet. 1,000.
Right. It's just so ridiculous that first world issues, you know what I mean? Total first world problem.
I know.
It's $7,000. It's a lot of money to have a bike sit around and collect dust. The thing is, I don't even think we could get many projects out of it, for the channel. We try to buy bikes that we could actually get more videos out of, and I just don't know that I could adjust that. But we're going to get right back into it here. Hey, Bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has just what you're looking for. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding, Brian, for an easy installation. That equals more time riding, less time installing. Zero 3D has a design team with over 40 years experience with a passion for design and innovation. Can Bus Made Simple with a plug-and-play lighting system. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them. Email sales@Ciro3D.com. Give them a call, 715-808-0027. Check your local Harley or Honda dealership. Ask for Ciro or Gold Strike parts. That's right, a new leader has emerged, so check out Ciro 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for Honda Gold Wings. Help support us. Get your Ciro stuff right out of our store, lawabidingbiker.com/store. And we actually shot, we'll talk about that at the end if we have time. We actually shot a Ciro 3D video today. It kind of went haywire on us. I'll just leave it at that. Because I didn't have Rick send me the right parts. So it was not for Oscar's bike. It was for a newer bike, but awesome cup holder, guys. Passenger cup holders. And we've got the Ciro regular Rider, but this is for a touring. It actually installs in your trunk. We're doing an install video, but nonetheless, it will be coming out on the YouTube channel, but we do have them in our store, and it's an awesome solution for all you full touring guys out there for a very custom chrome or black, Ciro 3D beverage holder. It's universal. It's just like the one I've done videos on it before that I use for a Rider one, but it doesn't. We have the universal that mounts on your bars, but we also have that custom one, and that's what we were going to film. But Oscar's got a 2013, and I accidentally had Rick, or I brought it up. It was actually my fault because I was down at the store and I grabbed it off the shelf, and it was actually for 2014 and on. So nonetheless, we might have one for a giveaway coming up.
Ooh.
Who knows? Ooh. There you go.
We were waving to the camera.
That's
in
awesome.
the right spot this time.
At the right camera. That's very good.
That's cool, though.
That's very good. And if you see that GoPro behind you, you guys, if you're watching our guests over there, here, let me do this so you can see a little bit better. That is Brian's GoPro. He's going to do something. He's filming it, even though I'm filming it. He's filming it for
where that's like filming squared.
He's going to do something with it on your channel or something, or
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what to do yet.
All right,
but we'll
you're learning.
Yeah,
you're learning, or he already knows. You just get the footage.
Yeah,
you may or may never do anything. I have a lot of footage that I've done of our stuff, and it never goes anywhere. But I have it, and sometimes it's useful.
And this one's getting behind the scenes footage because
it's like B-roll.
It's behind us.
Yeah, it is. It's a very good angle.
Really, really.
It's got me right.
I don't
in the
even get
of
a
the frame.
Freaking chuckle.
I heard you. All right, let's dive back in, Brian. So the Vulcan. And so the question is, you sold that at some point.
Yep.
And that was, we already know why. So how many years did you go and tell me about that experience? Because I went for a couple of years when I was a young man without a motorcycle and about killed me. So tell me.
Almost 8 years.
Oh, dude, how'd you live? How'd you live with yourself?
Well, it's, I guess when you're as busy as I am most of the time, you don't find yourself thinking about it as much as other things that are going on. Like we had just had babies and moving and relocating with the company and doing all the things that we had to do. It was easier to not have to think about it all the time.
Yeah. Well, did you think about it? Because I can tell you when I went a couple of years, I literally, because you already said it once, just the feeling and the freedom, it's kind of a shrink for a lot of us in the community. It's our go-to shrink for me to de-stress. And I'll tell you, the couple of years I didn't have it, I shit you not, I woke up with some dreams of like riding, passion, just that feeling, like dreaming and waking up going, oh, never mind. I don't have a bike, because I missed that bad. And I literally dreamed about it. Weird.
Yeah. And I filled some of that gap with competitive fishing. That absorbs almost every waking minute that I'm not at work.
Mm-hmm. Fish for tuna? You fish for tuna?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big tuna.
You a tuna man?
Big tuna.
Oscar does.
That was like tuna. Caught it for the day.
Sorry, you knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But it takes a tremendous amount of time between my practices, my pre-fishes. Like as it sits right now, I wouldn't have time to ride anyways.
Yeah. So you went 8 years, but at some point you got back into it. You met the old law-abiding biker crew filming in Oscar's garage, making a shitty, grainy, low-lit film like I used to do. But at some point you got the bug again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Talking that mic straight in it.
Yeah. So I kind of got the bug again, like you said, and I talked to the wife a little bit, asked her, she agreed. And
green light.
We went and looked at one and bought one. Again, an affordable one.
Right.
It was a nice bike though.
Yeah.
It was a nice bike.
Yeah, I thought so.
So you got the green light, how long from green light to purchasing? Because there's a green lights only last so long when I tell guys, because I've seen guys, they're like, dude, you got the green light. Oh, I just don't know if I don't know if I can buy it. Dude, you got the green light. You know that green light's going to turn red eventually. So you buy while you have the green light. All the husbands, well, maybe the ladies too, if they get the green light from the husband. But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it was probably a month. Maybe
it's a long green light, bro.
Yeah, maybe a little less. I wanted to look around and find something that was that just fit what I wanted at the time. I didn't want anything crazy powerful. I hadn't ridden in a long time. So I decided just to ease back into it and find something that I felt comfortable on.
And what is that?
It was you remember what year that was?
Oh,
was it a 90?
Yeah, early 90s.
Yeah, 95.
95, I think.
95 Honda Shadow VLX 600.
VLX 600. Let's look it up. I got to look.
I know
Shadow? What it looks like.
Shadow VLX, yeah.
Yeah, Shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow VLX 600. Yeah. Is that it right there?
Looks just like it, only mine was kind of a purplish bluish.
It was that blue color of that white and blue one right there.
Yeah. Right here?
Yeah.
Let's pop that up.
Yep, just all that bluish color.
Such a nostalgic bike.
Isn't it though?
They're great.
We're looking at it now, you guys on Google, the images, but they're pretty cool little bikes, Honda Shadows. I've known quite a few people that have the Honda Shadow. It's like a super entry level, cheaper. You can get into a motorcycle a lot cheaper. Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, and so it was a 600.
Yeah.
600. All right, very cool. And did you pick that up brand? Well, no, because the year
it was
used. Where'd you get it at?
I
think it was here in Sela, actually, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, I think it was here in Sela.
Like a private?
Yeah, a guy. Yep.
What'd you get that bad boy for?
I think I paid $1,700 for it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Great bike for $1,700.
It is. It is. It gets your knees in the breeze.
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes, they run great. That's not something I'd want to go cross country on. You could.
Yeah, maybe.
No, not the most comfortable thing in the world. No.
Yeah. What's the tank size on those things for?
4.2 quarts.
Yeah. About a quart and a half.
About a quart and a half. Yeah. Nice. And so you got this bad boy, and what was your intention when getting it? Just to kind of ease back into riding, or did you want to do some touring, or you were talking to Oscar at this? Was that one of the reasons that you got back into it, or were you going to do it anyways?
Probably the biggest reason. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had a neighbor. I'm just curious how you ever even liked him. Like, well, I'm surprised after the first time you met him as a neighbor.
I'll tell you a story. So
please do. Please indulge us.
There's many stories.
5 years ago, I moved here. It'll be 5 years in May. I pulled up in, what did I have? A 72 Chevy.
That truck
just
was
a junk pile of truck.
No, that truck was badass.
Rebuilt engine, good truck, just looked terrible.
Oh, yeah, the body was a little rough.
Yeah. I pull up in the driveway. I get out. I'm just exhausted from going back and forth on the other side of the mountain to moving here. This is the first weekend I had finally got to come see the house. And I showed up in a ratty t-shirt, torn up jeans, beard down to my knees. And I just remember I pulled up and I see Justin's squad car sitting out in the in the road, and I'm like, fantastic. This is gonna be terrible. And then he's standing in the driveway.
No, I was standing with Mikey next door.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Typical standing with my other neighbor, him leaning over the fence and me standing there talking. We're like, wonder if they're ever going to show up, move into the house, because we got to know the people, the manager before him lived there. And then there he shows up, beard down to his ankles.
Yeah. So
you did?
I had a giant beard.
I never got to see that. You must have shaved that before I met you.
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth.
I can
grow it in like 15 minutes though.
Yeah. Nice. It's like Miracle Grow.
Yeah. So I get out of the truck, and the first thing Justin ever said to me was he put his arms out and said, "Welcome to the hood." And at that moment, I was like, "Yeah, we're going to be all right."
Nice.
That was fun.
So it must have been, you moved in. So it was a little bit after that we actually, I don't know how long you'd been in there actually when we first came over. And
it wasn't that long.
No, couple months maybe. Did you move in like in April or something?
April or May. Yeah, I think we signed our lease in May, so I think it was May.
Oh, good. Sorry I'm listening to interrupt because I got to catch some of this chat. Tim Tilson is in the chat. So we were talking, excited. I'm not going to get really off track. I'm going to jump back in.
You're fine.
Try to grab some of this. We're coming up on our patron meetup ride, which is it's closed down. No more entries. It closed on April 20th, 420. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Really?
Right. Toke it up. Mm-hmm. And it closed, but it's all, and Tim Tilson actually is making all the shirts. He designed the logo. You all know if you're signed up for it, we're corresponding with you, but it's going to be a great event, Salt Lake City in June. And again, it's closed for sign up, but everybody that will be there now. It's a great big turnout, and it's going to be badass. And thank you, Tim Tilson, for getting those shirts hooked up. I can't wait to see them. And everybody over there that's helping me. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. All right. So moving on. Actually, let's do this real quick, and then we're going to dive in. Unless you had anything else on that subject. Okay, and then we'll finish it out here. Mm-hmm. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special. You can't find it anywhere else, guaranteed. Yep, these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to Law Abiding Biker store and get hooked up now. That's lawabidingbiker.com/store. And Oscar is the recipient of a Rick Rack system.
Love that thing.
Loving it because
absolutely.
That video's out on YouTube. And that's the video.
Oh, that's the video.
That's the video. If you guys haven't watched it, somebody finally figured it out. It took days for somebody to finally comment. I did a challenge on it on who could figure out.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of things like, oh, you cut and you put that screw in before this one, or it was a different screwdriver, and everybody was looking for it. It was actually hard for people to find.
We did. So the video was over where my bike is right there in the shop.
I had a table with my back.
Oh, that's right. The table.
I had a table and I was doing a Rick Rack with my back to this window.
And so I came in here and I would lift up and I would peek out, like stand up, and then I would lift.
But I had the lens on that gives a lot of depth of field. So it was really kind of blurry. So it was really kind of, it was great.
It was very subtle.
It was very subtle. Yeah. You had to look, and the guy that figured it out and I forget who it was, and I'm sorry if they're in chat, said, and I think it's Oscar.
Yeah.
I go, yes,
he
double.
got it. That was pretty impressive.
So if you guys haven't seen that video, it's kind of funny. It's actually a good video on the Rick Rack system, but there's a little bit of fun in there too.
Yeah, it's something different.
People were really trying to figure that out.
My kids thought it was real creepy too. My youngest saw it.
It's creepy.
She goes, Daddy, is that you? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, that's really weird.
It was just creepy because it was all slow, and he'd just come up and he would just
look around.
And then he would turn his head to the left real slow, and then he would just slowly go back down out of the window. And it was just, and I'm talking the whole time. So we have a lot of fun around here, Brian. We got to keep it real. All right. So this Honda Shadow, and then we're going to get into current, and we're going to get into the collision a little bit. So you start riding with, and then we're going to wind it down. You start riding with Oscar. You get a little more serious about riding. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It was our, that was actually the first ride we ever took together.
Yeah, but you had been out already. Remember when I pulled you over?
Yeah, he pulled me over for no reason all the time.
That's bullshit.
I was following him, and I'm like, I think I know who that is.
Because I would use...
It's your neighbor, not mine.
I would use the roads around the back part of the house to ride around and practice on corners and do all that kind of stuff. And every time he'd be out there on Yakima Valley Highway, he'd pull me over for no reason.
Nice, dude. Sounds like Oscar.
That's true. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I think that... Yeah, because you wanted a little while to kind of practice. And yeah, so that was probably our first ride where he and I went out together.
Good.
Yeah.
So you had been practicing and all that kind of stuff. Where were you guys trying to go that day? What was your ultimate destination?
I don't think we had a destination.
We were just going to go out for like an hour. And so we took the heights down, and we were going to end up down in Natchez and then come back the highway back home. So it was just like it would have been, like a nice hour, leisurely kind of slow pace ride.
Okay. So you guys saddle up. Were you, I can't remember. It's been a while. Were you single? You had a passenger.
No, I was single.
You had a passenger. You had your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Oscar had a passenger. You didn't. And was this, now if I remember correctly, you were going up the Natchez Heights grade, right?
We were on
the
Natchez
Heights and grade.
No, we were on Natchez Heights Road.
Okay. Oh, you were on the Natchez Heights Road. Some of the local Bob Dawson and the locals here will know what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's a nice
It's a beautiful road.
It really is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at some point, are you following?
Yeah,
So
I'm
just tell
following.
the story in detail about what we're doing here, what you're thinking, why it happened, all that kind of stuff, and just explain it to the audience because it was a fairly substantial collision.
Yeah, it's tough for me to put it all into perspective, right? So this was, I guess, 3 years ago, right? Ballparkish, anyways.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah,
Maybe
almost
4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact cause of why I left the road. I do remember coming around the corner
Corner to the right or left?
to the left.
Okay.
And I don't know if I know I hit some sand or something. I probably overcorrected, and just shot right off the road. It all happened so quick. And when I'm trying to play it back in my mind, it's hard for me to understand like what happened that caused it.
Right.
We weren't going very fast.
No.
Because you went around it.
Well, yeah,
Ahead of him?
I can tell you what you did. I remember there was I don't know what caused it, but there was 2 huge grooves. So this corner.
That's right. There was, yeah. So
You
there,
remember?
Yep. So coming around, there was a big, almost like I remember, almost like a trailer had come down and hit the blacktop and dug it out.
Okay.
So as
Gouged
I'm-
it, basically gouged
Yep.
it.
So as I'm
Yeah.
coming around, my tire kicked out of that into some sand, and I couldn't recover from around the corner. And so what ended up happening was I went. There was a big boulder at the end of. I guess it was a drive. Was it a driveway? Or was it like an entrance to a field or something there?
It was like an entrance to that orchard.
Yeah. So I hit the rock head on,
Damn.
and I had tried to.
So you're on your bike, obviously. You didn't go low side or high side.
No,
You just straightened her up.
Straight right on it. I think I had tried to bail at some point, but I was too close, and I hit the boulder head on. The bike flipped up over the top of me. I went straight forward through a fence, landed on my hands and knees. The bike landed, I don't know, 20, 25 feet in front of me. And then, of course, Justin turned around, and it was a pretty scary moment, I'll tell you.
Yeah, man. Any of those stories, I always just think back in my head, trying to visualize it. You weren't able to obviously dump any speed before. You weren't able to get on the brakes, or maybe a little, or
maybe a little. But I mean, it happened literally from that point to that rock was probably 25 feet. I mean, it wasn't very far.
So you basically went over the top of the handlebars.
I'm pretty sure
Endo,
that's what happened.
basically?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Did you do a flip,
No.
or do you think you just flew? Like,
I think I flew. I think the bike flipped
okay,
because I remember the bike landing on the other side of me in the orchard.
Yeah, right.
And I remember landing on my hands and knees. And then Justin came up and asked if I was all right. And
Oh, shit, I'll never forget that.
did you see it in your rearview mirror?
Yeah.
So you watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a scary thing to watch because I've seen that before.
It's
Similar
it's twice now.
collisions.
Yeah.
It's a shitty feeling.
yeah, so I threw my helmet off, threw my gloves off. And
Mike, good.
sorry.
That's right.
And Justin came up and asked if I was okay. And I said, yeah, I think I'm okay. And I kind of looked at my arm and I was like, oh, no, I'm not okay. I think my bone's hanging out.
Damn,
And
dude.
he was like, no, it's not your bone, it's your veins.
Yeah.
So it had flayed my arm. You can maybe kind of see it there where it
You
flayed
still
it
got
open.
scars on his left arm for
Yeah.
the podcast audience that's not watching in video. Yeah. Right at the pit of his elbow on his left inside of his arm
And
there.
it basically just flayed the skin open and luckily didn't cut anything on the inside. All the veins were just kind of hanging there. Everything was fine. Broke a bunch of ribs. This went through, I believe, the left side mirror broke off. It was either that or it was the windshield.
No, I think you're right. I think it was the mirror.
Yeah.
That's what filleted it.
I think so. I don't really know what it hit. And then I went through a fence, and I think that's what broke the ribs. And then the reason why Nine Toes Fishing was born is because I ended up losing a toe over it.
Yeah. Tell us about that though. The toe part?
So
Because we kind of glanced over that.
yeah, so I think what happened was when I actually hit the rock, I think my the peg smashed into the bottom of my foot so hard that it dislocated the joint right where it joins the foot, and it put that bone on top of the other bone.
This sounds horrible.
They didn't catch it during the initial hospital visit when I was there. They were more worried about, internal bleeding and broken ribs and all that stuff.
Right.
So I didn't go back to the doctor for like 4 or 5 months. And he said, he goes, well, I found out why your foot's bothering you. And I said, well, good news, bad news. He goes, well, kind of both. Good news is I can see that it's pretty messed up. And the bad news is it's pretty messed up. So I went in for surgery and they pinned it back together. Didn't really work. So
I remember you going through all this.
Yeah, like a year and a half later, I got to the point where I couldn't wear a shoe anymore. It was just hurting so bad. My foot the toe was pressing up so high that I was just putting too much pressure. So they ended up cutting it off.
Damn.
The birth of a fishing brand.
Yep.
Something good comes out of something bad.
Yeah, true.
Yikes.
True. Do you have any, how about this up on your arm? Did you have any surgeries on that, or they just stitch it up?
No, just stitched it up and cleaned it up and perfectly fine.
Okay. So how's that with the toe, like for balance and stuff?
So
what do they do with that?
Your pinky toe doesn't provide any balance.
Okay.
It's your big toe.
Okay.
But it is very weird to still feel a toe that isn't there.
Really?
Yeah.
They say that.
Strange.
Yeah, I've heard that from
amputees
Goat's brother who
his
leg, and
Tim.
he says that they get. Do you ever get like phantom pains in it?
All the time.
That's such a weird phenomenon.
And especially being on my feet all the time. So, you take an average tournament day, I'm on my feet in the boat for 10 to 11 hours. And those are the days where it's the worst.
Really? Ah, man, there's nothing you can really do for the phantom pains the way I understand it either. You just bear them because they just come and go, right?
Yep.
You can take Phantom Advil. It helps out quite a bit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, always a solution.
We can laugh about it a little bit because we talked about it off and on a whole ton of times.
Yeah, I've never actually, I've heard bits and pieces from Oscar, but it's always nice just talking to the guy. Obviously, what happened to the bike? Did it total it out?
I got an even better story.
Okay, go.
Yeah.
We got to go with this. That's good.
All right.
Wait.
Okay.
Can we tell the story on the air?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone that might have that bike is listening.
No.
Oh, shit.
Okay. All right. Go for it, dude. This is the best.
We wouldn't admit it anyways.
No.
Okay.
All right. So, as far as the bike goes, the bike actually fared pretty well. Front rim, where it hit the rock, was completely just caved in, just smashed. And then when it landed on its tail. So, what is that part that bent? Was it the frame?
The frame bent.
But it wasn't really the frame. It was like the
swing arms.
Like
well, it's irrelevant. Something bent. It's how we fixed it. That's funny.
I can't believe we did that. Okay, go tell the story.
All right.
So you still got that Chev too.
Is the statute of limitations up on this?
I don't know if there is one. I don't know.
I don't know. So I still had the Chevy.
Okay.
I had the old pickup because that thing weighed like 7,000 pounds. And then we had my wife's Captiva. So
I remember hearing this.
I thought we used my truck. Did we use the Captiva?
I think we used a Captiva. Yeah, because I left it overnight. I just kept tightening it down.
Henry says rear subframe. I think he's probably right. I think it was a rear subframe attached to the swing arm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the actual frame and neck. So
the frame was fine. It was that subframe that Henry's talking about. Yeah. So it was bent a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
So what'd we do?
So what we did was we attached, what is that jack thing?
This would have been a great
a come along.
Yeah, you guys didn't tell me about this for a lab YouTube video, dude.
Oh, we should.
We should have. Rednecks.
Oh, dude, this is as whiskey tangos.
It's terrible. So we took a come along, and then we attached one rope to
my toe chain.
Oh, your toe chain to one end of the wife's car, to the bumper of my truck, and then the motorcycle in the middle.
You guys wishboned
and
it?
then
Yeah.
And left it.
I can't believe because we kicked around.
Was this in your neighborhood?
In front of the house.
Yeah, right in my driveway.
In front of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We kicked around forever how to.
I'd have called the police on you. We got two idiots out here wishboning a motorcycle.
And he was like, well, I don't, because you couldn't get the part. There was some issue why we couldn't fix it. And so we're like, how are we going to bend this back? And we tried like a big pry bar.
We tried all kinds of stuff.
And then finally we're like, hey, we can just string it between two big heavy objects and then just crank it down with the come along.
This is a Whiskey Tango frame pulling for
yeah,
sure.
so
do you guys have your tape measure out so you made sure and got it right?
Oh,
Your laser levels?
yeah, laser levels. So we take that all and I'd leave it overnight and undo it and come back the next morning and nope, still got to move a little bit more. So then I'd crank her down even tighter, leave it, come back the next morning, a little bit more until finally we got it straight.
So you
And
why didn't you do it all at once? You just did it day by day?
Well,
Why didn't you do it all at once?
Because you can't. You got to bend.
yeah, because
slow.
Like I tried to just bend it down or crank it down, and then it would just kind of pop back. So
I'm tracking.
we
You
just
wanted
let
to
it kind
coax
of
it and
because that's a safe way when you're doing that.
right.
Yeah,
correct.
oh, 'cause-
well,
yeah.
that's how they train you.
Because you have
Yeah.
to measure it degree by degree when we're straightening.
This is ridiculous. I wish I had this video, dude. That would have been so funny.
Oh man, I
just
can't
as a total vlog. Just
because
Yeah, it might have
we
been.
got
you
this
didn't call
Honda.
me, dude.
I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't even know if that was legit or not. But it
No,
was straight.
not legit. But yeah, it
went
straightened it
down the
right
road.
out, went perfect. Fender went right back on. Everything was great.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he actually told the guy that it got straightened,
No, totally did.
that it was
With
broken.
a
and
frame
then it was-
puller, you don't have to
Yeah.
tell them what kind of frame
Yeah.
puller.
Yeah.
No,
It
it was
got
straightened.
pulled by a frame puller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It was the.
Oh my
To this
god.
day, I can't believe we did that, and it worked.
Yeah,
We're
fine.
great. We're great.
So, then I wrote it a little bit more after
Oh,
that.
did you?
I did.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Extremely nerve-wracking.
Really?
I got to be honest.
He really tried. He
You
tried.
rode
I
with
did.
him?
I kept it for. No, he didn't ride with me after that, but I wrote it probably for, to preface this, in the hospital as I'm laying there, freaked out of my mind. Right, the wife comes in and says the very first thing she said was, "Don't sell the motorcycle."
Yeah.
And so to hear that was mildly reassuring, but in my brain I'm like, I don't think I can get back on it. And it took a little while. I shouldn't say it took a little while. I got on it fairly quickly after that. It wasn't terribly long. I mean, we had to straighten the frame out. That took a couple of weeks, but
Right.
I got back on it and I rode, but the feeling was different. I rode scared, and
Yeah.
I knew that was the moment that I probably should not do this because it could probably lead to worse things. So
Yeah, he did. But you know what? He gave a lot of love because he tried, and we talked about it, and he went out a little bit, and it definitely vetted when he was done. Like, I know it for sure. Then there no lingering thoughts, and so that's
Okay.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Riding or scared can definitely be even more dangerous for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can't get back, I think that's with anything, not just motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
I can relate that to a lot of different things. So
Gary Jackson said that your wife's definitely a keeper, or she significantly increased your life insurance.
probably a little of both.
No, honey, keep the bike. We're up to 600,000 now. It'll be fine.
Nicely done. We're going to do this and then we're going to wrap it up here. This is awesome. We love our patrons. We want you to become a patron because we'll get to know you better in the private Facebook group. We'll get to do these live broadcasts and chat. But hey, if the only way that you can support us right now is through a flat donation, we never balk at a flat donation. We appreciate it. Gary Zimmerman, Corey Kaiser of Mercersburg,
There
PA.
you go.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Christoph
Franzak of Jafo, Poland. Josepho, Poland. I don't even. I'm
Poland.
such
I think
a-
you got Josepho.
All right.
Nice.
There you go. Worldwide, guys. lawabidingbiker.com/donate if you want to leave us a flat donation. It helps put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank so we can keep this thing heading on down the road. All right. It might stock the fridge with a few beers too. It's either fuel or beer. One of the two. They're both fuel.
Yeah,
fuel
they
for
are
the body.
both fuel. That's right. And the
Fuel
mind.
for the body.
Oh, yeah.
And we appreciate that, guys. So riddle me this there, Brian, as we take it out. You sold the bike, apparently.
I did
Yeah. How much did you sell it for? Did you get what you...
more than what I paid for
It's
it.
awesome. Good story. Good
But
story.
you did a little bit to it when you fixed it up. He fixed it all up himself. I was pretty impressed because I didn't know he knew anything mechanical or whatever. And he just ordered the parts and found
What'd you
stuff
do
here
to
and
it? I mean, major, or just
I
some
really
of the
didn't
things.
do anything major to it. I just fixed everything that was broken.
I thought you changed
Did the
some stuff.
exhaust.
No, you did exhaust. There you go. I mean, yeah, it's
You
good
did
stuff.
something else.
I
Maybe
can't
the
remember
air
what else I
cleaner?
did,
don't
but
know.
I've been a mechanic before I was a GM for Best Buy. I was a mechanic for years, so I know my way around most engines.
Gotcha. He helped out today. Helped out today on the video. So as we let's wrap up chat, and then we're going to wrap this episode up because I do have a question. But let's see, Space Dust. Oh yeah, you know it.
That is still my favorite.
Evan Simonenko. I always have a sorry,
Simonenko.
I'm terrible with names.
Simonenko. There you go.
Yes, one of my favorites too. Space Dust for sure. So love having you guys in the chat, and it was fun to reminisce about the different motorcycles we had. But I've got one question for Brian before we close it out here. And don't forget, we got the patron event, guys, coming up. And like I say, it is closed, but we're going to have a ball in Salt Lake City this year, and it's going to be a 7-day ride for me and Oscar.
Yeah, I can't wait.
We're going to see the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. It's a massive undertaking.
Nothing like North Rim in the summer.
Dude, this event's going to be big.
It's going to be good.
I'm
excited.
Every year they get bigger, and this one's big.
I'm so excited about meeting all these people. You see them on the interweb, and now I have a face to put to it. Yep,
absolutely. Just awesome. And so let me look at this real quick. Give me just a second. Oscar, after what was that first bike you had?
A 1984 Honda Magna.
And what after that?
Then a 1984 Honda Magna.
And then a 1984 Honda Magna.
No, I did. I had two back to back.
Oh, you did? Okay, I thought you were
not
just
back
teasing.
to back. No. I had the V45 and then I got the V65 later, and then my 06 Ultra Classic, and now 13 Ultra Limited.
Nice, dude. And you didn't keep one of them.
No, I did. I actually kept the V65 that my wife got me in 2010 for my birthday. I kept it as long as I could, but I realized I wasn't riding it ever. I loved that bike, so I needed room in the garage. I wish I would have kept it. I still regret it to this day.
See, I know it, dude. We all regret that. So, So I was just making sure there was no new emails, but Tim Tilson doing the shirts, and Carl Quist has been integral, a part of. He's my main connection over there. Let me look here and make sure he hasn't emailed me on anything, but I'll be reaching out to you guys, of course. Nope, nothing new, but thanks, Carl Quist. He is the big organizer over there in that area, and we rented a place that's going to be awesome for the meetup, and rented it'll be a great turnout. We're still working on exactly what we're going to do for food, but it's going to be there, and the ride that we're doing, the day ride, is just phenomenal. So I'm just dreaming about it every night, and meeting a bunch of people that I've only met online. So the question is... Wait,
hold on one second. Mm-hmm. Darren wanted to know, the Gucci pilot asked if you could do a quick primer for your video on the live wire. I don't... Like just a quick, it's going to be great or something?
Sorry, I don't get the question. I'm looking.
Can Ryan do a quick primer
for his video on the live wire? Sorry, I'm not exactly sure what, maybe he typed, but I already did a live wire video. I did a complete, it's on the YouTube channel. I did a complete test ride review. Make sure you search the YouTube channel. It is on there. And we did a episode.
Podcast.
I actually released the video long before we did the podcast. It's been on the YouTube channel. It's got a ton of hits, but it's a complete review. So hopefully that answered your question. The question for you is, as we take it out here, you sold your motorcycle. I know aside from being into fishing and all that, will you ever, do you think, buy at some point in your life, try to get back into it?
Yeah.
Or are you just done?
No, I think so. I've thought about it quite a bit lately, and I'm actually kind of partial to that black Harley you have over there in the corner. So.
16 Lowrider S. You ever want to ride it? You can ride it. Mm-hmm. Give it a shot.
Yeah, it's got
a 110 in it.
It's a good looking.
It's got
bike.
A lot of motor. It's awesome.
It is. She's runs like a rape ape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you may.
I appreciate
it. You may. And as far as you just have nothing in your near future that you're planning, but it's a pot you haven't went, nope, I will never ever. I'm done, which is fine. It's your answer.
I want to again. I think for me, being out of it so long and after everything that happened, I'd probably go through one of those courses and just get comfortable again and make sure I take my time before I hop back on.
Right. And there's probably some good, to build confidence, you could always do like a rider's course too, or something like that may help.
Yeah.
Right, Oscar?
Yes.
What are you laughing about?
Falling asleep back there.
No, Evan said, electric bikes cause women to put their panties back on.
Oh, geez. Yeah. No,
But if you already have a ton of kids, then maybe that's a good thing.
I saw a meme about that. Somebody, that's an electric bike or something like that. Yeah, I saw a meme. I think it was in our private Facebook group or something like that. But nonetheless, Brian, thank you so much for stepping up to the plate and grabbing a mic and just
awesome.
Biker talk. These are fun episodes, guys. I love doing them. I love the live chat and interaction. I do really like to get backstories, and just everybody's got we've done quite a few of these types of episodes. We've done some with patrons and other people, and not too long ago we did one with Rick's dad, Big Daddy Kane's dad. It hasn't aired yet, but we did it. The patrons have seen it because it was live, I believe. No, we didn't. Oh, but I posted it in the back of we didn't do it live, but I posted that video, that episode in the back of your patron account, so you do have access to it. I think I posted a couple episodes that we did that day in the back end of your patron account. But nonetheless, thanks guys for being here. Thanks for being live. And we will be doing another episode, of course, and I will post that in your patron account, so you'll have access to that. For that episode, we got a couple cool voicemails about some emergency braking. We're going to talk about a little bit of used oil analysis.
Yeah.
So look forward to that episode, you patron members, and all of you regular podcast listeners. Months later, you'll still get the content. You just got to wait for it. So there you go. What'd you think, Brian?
I had a good time. I appreciate it.
Good. You did great.
Awesome. Awesome, dude.
I do want to say, before we take it out, call to action, guys, lawabidingbiker.com/store. Those cup holders that we filmed today, really awesome, guys. I've been using it. Went on our trip last year with it, the year before. Zero 3D, we've got them in stock. I know Big Daddy does because I stole one off the shelf. Shh, don't tell nobody better email Big Daddy and told him I stole one. Just tell him I stole the wrong one. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
I stole the 14 and up, and I needed a 96 to 2013, so we got halfway through the video, and we were like, oh, okay, this isn't going to work. So I got another one coming because we're going to get on Oscar's bike, and we'll finish up. I'll save the footage I have, and that's what we do around here. We'll integrate it, and we'll get that video out to you. But it's a really cool passenger cup holder that it kind of custom mounts, basically. It's got a Zero 3D arm and ball head, and I think it's pretty cool looking. We've been getting rave reviews on it for those of you that have been over to the store to order it. A lot of you knew we had it, even though we haven't really promoted it all. And of course, your regular perch mount cup holders or your universal bar mount cup holders. We've got them all, guys. 7/8, 1 inch, 1 1/4, all that kind of stuff, guys. Make sure you select the right one when you're over in the store, because black chrome, there's a bunch of decisions you got to make in the drop down. But nonetheless, thank you all for being here. I'm just running through chat as we go out, make sure there's nothing. Gary Jackson, thanks for all you guys. To Oscar and Ryan, great show, good laughs, good. Yeah, looking forward to SLC, Salt Lake City. That's right, Gary. Absolutely.
I didn't show my nipple this time either, so that's good.
He didn't. He was going to eat a cupcake in front of you guys. Oscar was, and I said, the only reason I said no is because he would crumble it all over the law-abiding biker carpet.
Food in the carpet. I mean, carpet in the. No, basically.
I know how
you shut me down, dude. I would not have spilled.
And you probably just shouldn't be on the carpet.
Dude,
right.
I know. That's probably true. That's true. Yeah.
And I told him, I said, that's not the worst thing you've done. You showed a nipple before.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And we can't figure out why.
We're out of here, guys.
Peace.